Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat and welcome to another episode of 2OT here on the Smart Sports Facebook page and on the 2OT page as well. Also airing on our YouTube page, 2OT. Once again, 2OT is presented to you by Smart 5G. Carlo Pamintuan po with Magumar John and Magu. Bukas na ang umpisa ng Commissioner's Cup. It's been something that we have not seen since 2019. Yung mga nagtatangkarang imports, we will get to see them again starting tomorrow.
Alam mo, nung nakaraang Sunday, 2 days ago,
Mhm.
kaupo lang ako dito sa couch ko. Tataka ako, bakit wala akong ginagawa linggo-linggo? And then I realized it was gonna be the last Sunday before we get the PBA back again. Kaya napasaya naman ako. Bukas na po, 3 o'clock, magbubukas ang ating Commissioner's Cup. Yun nga, sabi mo, Carlo, no? 3-year absence, 2019 natin huling nakita to because 2020 nga, Clark Bubble, 2021, Philippine Cup and Governor's Cup lang nalaro. So ngayon, nagbabalik na nga po yung 3-conference format natin for this year. Kasi pagkatapos na ito, 2 years from now ulit magiging 3 years dahil next year, 2 conference lang tayo.
Of course, alam naman natin, no, the defending champion of the Commissioner's Cup is San Miguel Beer. Diba? Nakalaban nila yung TNT Tropang Giga, which was also the finals. Yep. Makolo over Terrence Jones, yung ating naging huling matchup, an epic final series. So we're excited to get to see those tall imports once again. Syempre, including the smaller ones like Justin Brownlee, the automatic pick as an import for Barangay Hinebra. Pag-uusapan natin lahat ng kupunan, no? All of the 12 teams we will discuss.
13.
Yes, 13 teams including our guest teams. And all of the player movement, babalikan natin yan, yung mga nangyaring transactions in the past couple of days because it has been a very, very busy week for PBA teams as well as they are loading up on their respective rosters. Mago, it's been a while since the PBA had a guest team, di ba? Medyo matagal-tagal na rin nating hinintay, lalo na yung guest team na pwedeng mag-champion.
Yan.
Diba? Naalala natin yung dating mga Smart Gila squads that were able to play some games but were not part of the competition. Pero itong Bay Area Dragons, our guest team coming from the EASL, they've been here a while. They've competed in a lot of tune-up games at hindi natalo itong kupunan na to. How excited are you with the prospect first of having a guest team in the PBA?
Just seeing some of the still pictures from this squad. Okay, meron silang import. Okay, lahat sila. Hindi Filipino. They have one Filipino guy, Cholo Villanueva, an assistant coach, I believe, for this squad. Pero sobrang looking forward ako doon sa nakikita ko sa still pictures. The 7'5 guy. The 7'5 guy na itong Bay Area Dragons. It looks funny. I've seen pictures of Ambohot.
It looks funny.
Hindi, sila Ambohot.
Yeah, sila,
hanggang dito lang eh. Hanggang baba lang. Dumidepensa. Pilit inaangguluhan. It should be really, really interesting. Starting tomorrow, first game sila. Para makita natin, ano nga ba talaga ang ilalaro ng team na to sa ating PBA. They take on Blackwater, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
They've taken on these guys in some tune-up games. Nakakwentuhan natin si Baser Amer and tinanong kagad natin yung 7'5 nga.
Yeah.
Hindi lang daw malaki, Carlo. May konting skill daw. Hindi naman sobrang galing na Yao Ming pero may skill daw. Hindi lang siya malaking tao lang. May skill. So it should be really, really interesting starting tomorrow at 3 to see how these guys actually perform when the lights are on, when the cameras are pointed at them.
Sabi ni Bernard Baluyot, batiin nyo muna mga viewers nyo. Yes po. Ito na.
Kalit.
Ito na. Siyempre, uunahin ka na namin, Mr. Bernard Baluyot. Thank you for reminding us to greet our viewers. Magandang gabi po. Ginreet naman namin sila. Nagmagandang gabi kami. Hindi lang natin na-mention by name. So let's mention some of them. Si Raven A. Galang, si Joms Fabula, Liana Tabula is watching, si Janos Montilla, si Ma'am Gemma Esito nag-comment kanina, Nair Lobo, as always, is watching us. Itong si Jamil Benito Ibrahim watching, Chris Everett Silva, Mark Kabuang, itong si Aaron Santor, magandang gabi po. Roydan Alfaro also watching. Sabi niya, gandang gabi mga sirs, cancel muna tulog. Maaga-aga pa naman sir, pero baka wala ka nga sa Pilipinas. So magandang gabi po at salamat sa pagpupuyat wherever you are. Ikaw Mago.
Si John Jorel Tuazon tinatanong, kailan opening ng PBA? Bukas na po. Mag-open na tayo. Ton Osorio tinatanong, excited na kayo? Paano ba yung excited na emoji? Yes, sirs, of course.
Yung boss yung mukha.
Sabi, Sabi ni Barry Cristobal, yung mga galit sa PBA, huwag kayo manood. Fair enough. Um, Jason Adrian Conice, bukas na ba? Yes, sirs. Bukas na po. Ay, may pumupusta na. 5K, Hinebra.
Wala po silang laro.
Sa linggo pa laro niyan, di ba?
Si Ma'am Carol Reyes watching. Christian Padro Galos, shout out po from Irosin, Sorsogon. Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. And again, we thank you for joining us here on 2OT. Just a quick catch-up discussion about the Commissioner's Cup and sino ba yung mga dapat nating abangan na imports, anong mga pangalan nila, sino yung mga nagbabalik, sino yung mga bago na yung teams na lalaruan in the upcoming conference.
Ayun na nga, no? So we've been talking a little bit about the Bay Area Dragons. Magaling din yung coach first and foremost, Carlo. We'll get that kind of coaching, dating coach ng Australia. Led them to that, help them. Pwede ba yun? Coach yung nag-lead? Basta help them or led them to the bronze medal in the Olympics. And may import. Magaling din yung import nito, di ba? Sino nga ba?
Andrew Nicholson, dating NBA player. Diba? Mahusay din, pero nakita natin yung diskarte nila is for the first 4 games, yung mas maliit nilang import yung maglalaro.
Kasi dalawa yung dala nila eh. Yeah.
Oo, dalawa po yung baon nila. Itong si Miles Blake Powell, yung maglalaro for the first 4 games. Si Andrew Nicholson naman, yung maglalaro for their next 4 games. Pagkatapos nun, magde-decision daw sila kung sino yung papalaruin for the remainder of the conference. Yes,
so may exemption to the rules sila or... And actually, that's still within the rules.
It's legal.
You can replace your first import.
I-injured list mo siya. Pwede mong ibalik.
Import. Pero yung magiging pangalawang import, once you take him out of the lineup, hindi pwede bumalik. Yung una lang ang pwede.
Exactly why they are deciding after 4 games each. Diba? So, parehong you can keep playing Nicholson, you can change your mind and get Powell, but yung Powell pag kunwari yung Nicholson pag pinalitan mo touch move na yon, hindi na siya pwedeng bumalik. And then there is an additional rule when it comes to the Bay Area Dragons because they have 3 players, sila Hayden Joel Blanky, Yunlei Warren Liang at saka si Kobe Lam na 2 lang per time yung pwedeng ipasok ni coach Gudrian, and that's just an additional quirk in the rule. Kasi nga, hindi naman lahat yata purely locals for the East, the Bay Area Dragons. Again, a team from the ESL.
Just to add to the explanation, 2 po yung dala nilang import kasi these guys are also going to be playing in the EASL kung saan makakasama po yung San Miguel Beermen at yung TNT Tropang Giga. 2 import po pwede doon. So, dala na nila pareho dito. And then yun na nga, pinaliwanag ni Carlo, magkakaroon ng substitution na lang mid-season and then magde-decision pagdating ng dulo. Sino magtutuloy-tuloy para dito sa Dragons?
Pwede ba nating i-request maguna yung SMB or TNT, hiramin muna si Justin Brownlee para dun sa ESL team nila? Pwede ba yun? Hindi siguro na. Medyo mahirap nga siguro gawa ng paraan. But again, we're very excited to see them. Yun nga, undefeated in their tune-up games. Pero as Magu said, iba yung tune-up, iba yung game na. Diba? So,
tsaka yung tune-ups nila, they never talk on San Miguel. They never talk on TNT. They never talk on Hinebra. Not even Magnolia, I think. Not even Meralco. Alam ko, NLEX, Nakatapat, and Blackwater, and Phoenix, yung mga yan. So, we'll see. Pag when the ball goes up, and bukas nga po, patikim na sa atin yon. Although they take on Blackwater na tinalo na nila sa tune-up game, makikita natin what they have in store. And yung first 3 games, yan. Blackwater, Northport, Phoenix, papatikimin tayo na itong Bay Area Dragons. Yung Converge, lahat tayo interesado. Anong papakita ng Converge? Mamaya pagkikwentuhan natin yan. And then they get into the meat of the order after those initial games, Carlo. Should be interesting.
It's not a bad schedule if you're the Bay Area Dragons. Of course, yung October 9 and 16 na Hinebra versus San Miguel, kita mo sa lineup, back-to-back na malakas yung kalaban. But, ang daming araw niya, no? Diba? Hindi yan magkadikit na laro. And then maybe their next tough stretch would be Magnolia and TNT from November 19 and 23. But this is a solid opportunity for them to get, a decent start at the start sa pag-uumpisa ng kanilang kampanya in the PBA.
And if all of this bodes well, hopefully this becomes an annual thing na.
Sure.
Diba?
Sure.
Hopefully, because kaya let's give this formula a chance right now. Merong guest team. Pag successful to, hopefully next season, baka hindi lang isang guest team ang dumayo sa PBA.
Bisitahin naman natin yung ating mga 12 legitimate PBA teams. Let's start things off. Yung susundan natin na rankings, yung team standings ngayon na nasa PBA website. I think it's completely random.
Ano kasulat siya? 0-0.
0-0 lahat. Yep. Pero hindi rin alphabetical. Kaya sundan na lang natin to para may tamang order, may order na tayo na pwede nating pagbasihan. Let's start things off with the Meralco Bolts. Meralco had a really strong performance in the Philippine Cup. Hindi na tayo nagugulat na maganda yung nilalaro nila in the Philippine Cup. And then, no changes whatsoever in their roster. Dagdag lang sila ng import na si Johnny O'Brien.
And this guy is 6'9", Carlo. Yung front line netong Meralco, you see sa key players natin, kasama si Raymond Dalmazan. But ngayon, hindi mo nakakailanganin si Raymond ng 35 minutes, 42 minutes, 48 minutes. Dahil syempre, yung import ang ibababad mo dyan. Si Raymond, even if he gets in foul trouble now, hindi ganun kalaking dagok to para dito sa Meralco Bolts. And based on how they played in the recently concluded Philippine Cup, especially with guys like Chris Newsom and Aaron Black, and dagdag natin late in that tournament, Chris Banquero really starting to play himself back into form, really finding his niche within this team. And then may Alain Maliksika pa na sobrang dependable, sobrang consistent for the entirety of the Philippine Cup. These guys should be good. These guys should be middle of the pack minimum in the running, of course, Matic, para dito sa ating semifinals. And then may suntok sa na finals to.
Well, I think it all depends on how good Johnny O'Brien is, di ba? If you're joining a solid crew of all Filipino players, kung dumagdag ka ng isang magaling na import, then all bets are off. They might finally get to that level and try to win their first ever PBA championship. Coach Norman Black was very hopeful. He's hopeful that itong si O'Brien is the missing piece, no? Siya yung pinapanalangin nila na magtatawid sa kanila heading into their first chance to win a championship. Shoutout muna tayo, Gab Pereras and itong si Darwin Salazar from Caloocan. Magandang gabi po and thank you for watching us here on 2OT. Meralco, as you said, Magu, decent team in terms of all Filipino, a top 4 team.
Do you agree with me?
Sure.
I think almost Matic, minimum quarterfinals na to. Titignan na lang natin sino makakatapat, di ba?
Sure. Quarterfinals, it will be a disappointing conference for Meralco if they don't make it to the semis. Ganun kasimple para sa akin. That is what they've built in the past few conferences. And we also know yung kalidad nila when it comes to picking imports. They get best import players. Ganun na lang. Yup, ganun na lang kasimple.
Iba mamili si Coach Norman.
And now, let's move on to the schedule nitong Meralco Bolts. Tingnan natin kung gaano kabigat sa umpisa. So they will get NLEX and Northport. We all know that NLEX will have a new look. Northport as well, with a couple of new players here and there before renewing their rivalry with Barangay Hinebra Converge, Terra Firma Phoenix, Rainer Shine. Also, a pretty decent schedule, Meralco, I would say, for this squad.
When you look at that schedule, right off the bat, yung NLEX Northport, dalawang team na nangangapa. Yung NLEX nga, ni walang actual head coach. They have an interim coach right now. We'll talk about that later. Pero wala pang pinapangalan ng permanent head coach o bagong head coach na kapalit ni Coach Yeng, etong NLEX. So, and then they've had adjustments also to the lineup. Let's see now how they play very early dahil Meralco nga, maaga nila makakalaban. That's gonna be on Sunday. And then Northport, yun kagad, mamaya-maya, mapapagkwentuhan din natin yan. Medyo magkakapaan sila dyan. But when you get to Hinebra Converge, it is gonna be tough. And then later on, doon na sa dulo, yan na siguro yung San Miguel Bay Area, TNT Magnolia, dyan na magkakatalo kung saan makakarating itong Meralco.
There have been news updates that we've seen from different sources that Frankie Lim will be tapped as the head coach of the NLEX Road Warriors. I don't think there has been a formal announcement from the NLEX side, pero yun po yung mga nare-report, no, from Tiebreaker Times, from ABS-CBN, from Spin.ph, na-report na rin nila na Frankie Lim will be taking over as sige, Baka pwede natin i-confirm dito sa show kung may...
Tawagan natin si Miyaka.
baka,
Miyaka!
baka hindi siya
Anong
at
ginagawa ni
liberty...
Papa Lim? Miyaka, what's Papa Lim doing, ha?
Baka hindi siya at liberty to discuss. Ikaw naman,
baka bigyan tayong clue.
baka hindi pa natin pwedeng pag-usapan. Again, these have been reports, pero hindi pa official na sinasabi ng NLEX. So, but pretty much, kung ganun na karami yung magre-report, we feel na patungo nga doon yung direction ng NLEX. But still, Magu, same challenge. Magdadala ka ng bagong coach. The eve of the start of the conference should be tough, very, very difficult start for NLEX.
I do believe Coach Adonis and Papa Lim has worked together before, have they? Well,
I'll check.
Pero malamang na yan, manghuhula lang naman tayo. Papa Lim for the first couple of games, I guess, si Coach Frankie will just run what they've been running in practice under Coach Adonis and all that. And then a little later on, tignan natin yung schedule. Hahanapan mo ng butas dyan kung kailan siya pwedeng talagang mag-insert na ng programa niya talaga.
Nung kanya.
Di ba?
Yeah.
That's gonna be tough. You get a new player, bagong import o bagong local returning from injury o bagong may na-trade lang, ang hirap na i-gel pero yung head coach pa mismo, yung bagong-bagong, that's gonna be a tough job.
Yep, let's move on to our second team. TNT Tropang Giga fell short in their bid to retain the Philippine Cup Championship. Nagdagdag ng isang import na meron ding NBA pedigree na si Cameron Oliver. Intact lineup largely, but of course, one of the bigger news in terms of the trades that happened in the past couple of days, Calvin Oftana has landed with his squad. It cost them Cabanal and Troy Rosario. Troy Rosario has been a tremendous member of the team for the longest time, but they decided to give him up and get a legitimate small forward, a 3. Tingin mo ba, Magu, yun yung butas ng TNT? Is the small forward position a hole that they could have won the Philippine Cup with?
It's hard to tell because Troy wasn't really getting the minutes anymore.
Late
in that tournament. He was dealing with a lot of stuff, and our prayers and thanks to the Lord na umokay naman talaga
yung baby niya,
ni Troy. Pero during the finals, that's something he did not disclose. He was dealing with a lot of stuff with his family. And thankfully, sa balita naman natin, okay na yung family niya doon. Calvin Oftana, he is a young gun, but he has shown so much potential. Lumabas yung laro niya talaga, especially this last Philippine Cup para kina Coach Chieng. And it should hold well, but because that 3, tanda natin, that's also Pogoy's position. So that will move Pogoy to play a lot more too. And then that'll make Jason and Mikey share point guard duties, I guess. Pero, so pwede pa rin naman mag-3 si Pogoy, pero should be an interesting dynamic to see what's there. Also lost Gab Banal, who last season 2 seasons ago, ganda ng binigay na minuto at production para dito sa TNT, but really didn't get to play much in this Philippine Cup. So, yung dagdag, yung nawala pala, yung Troy Rosario and yung Gabanal, wala ka masyadong makikitang butas na because they weren't getting the minutes anyway. Yung mga iba na lang na guys like Pogoy, let's see how they adjust to having a guy like Oftana on the lineup with them now.
Ako kasi feeling ko nasira yung diskarte ni Coach Chot when he lost Glenn Cobuntin. That is why I think that Calvin Oftana will be a solid addition. Kasi sinasabi mo, Maguna, Pogoy can play the 3. I definitely agree. But the rotation sa 1-2 ni Coach Chot will always surround Castro, Mikey, and Pogoy. So sila na lang yung magpalitan na 3 dun sa 1 and 2. Tapos bigay mo na yung ibang minuto at the small forward to Calvin Oftana. And he fits perfectly into the system ng TNT. Catch and shoot type of player. Good reads, kayang dumrive, kayang dumepensa. So we're very excited to see him in action as well. TNT, SMB, and Barangay Hinebra were picked by Gilas Pilipinas head coach Chot Reyes as the 3 teams na paghuhugutan niya ng players for the upcoming November window of the FIBA Asian qualifiers for the FIBA World Cup. Kaya titignan natin ngayon yung schedule. Makakita tayo ng konting puwang when it comes to their November schedule. No? Kasi nga po, The players will be made available. As we can see, they start things off with a tough one versus Magnolia agad-agad. That
Parang
rain or shine game should be exciting as well. Yep. Ito rin yung umpisa nila. And then, that is the break. From November 5 to November 16, hindi po sila maglalaro ng kahit isang laban. But look at that finish. Hinebra, Bay Area, San Miguel Beer, dapat pumuhunan ng marami-raming panalo itong TNT to get a good position in the elimination round.
Question, Carlo. Kailan ba yung EASL?
I think it's home and away. I'm
Kaya
not really sure about the schedule.
Diba?
Yeah.
So, inahanap ko dito yung butas ulit Dahil pati yung Bay Area nandun, pati TNT, pati San Miguel. We'll double check that for you guys. Alam ko may window ng October din to
Anyway, tsaka na natin sila pag-usapan. TNT, how do you like their chances moving forward, Magu? Siyempre, kinulang nga dun sa Philippine Cup. Do you think that, they can have enough to challenge the rest of the field and win the Commissioner's Cup?
That local lineup is still going to be super solid as usual para dito sa TNT. And then you add a guy like Cameron, itong bagong import nila, Oliver. Tama ba? Pag TNT talaga, nalilimutan ko.
Tama, hindi na si Leon something.
Pero ang mabigat dito, Carlo, he's gonna have to prove himself right away because hinain na to, di ba? Silang dalawa ni Brownlee. Their papers for naturalization are already going through the process right now. Hinihilingan nga yung Congress and Senate na i-expedite pa to. Pero for him to be an automatic candidate for naturalization, kasabay mo pa yung Brownlee, alam naman natin talagang kalidad na ni Brownlee. This guy should be super good, Carlo.
Yep, ito nakita ko na yung schedule. October 12 at saka October 26.
Di ba?
Yung dalawang laro ng TNT against Bay Area Dragons and actually parehong Bay Area Dragons yung kalaban nila. So hindi naman siguro
Guaps nung schedule nila. 12 and
26. October 12 and October 26.
Layo pa nung pagitan,
Yep. At pareho
naman ng ESL, parang mga FIBA window ng
October 12,
kalendaryo
Yun, after their first game, October 12, tapos October 26 in between their games against Blackwater and Converge.
So 3 beses sila makakalaban ng Bay Area ngayong Commissioner's Cup.
Yep, magkasawaan sila.
Hindi lang counted yung dalawa.
Well, counted dun sa EASL.
Sa kabila naman.
Yep. At yan po, ang TNT Tropang Giga. Moving forward now, let's talk about the Blackwater bossing. Very interesting move coming from Blackwater. You give up your first overall pick in Brandon Ganuelas roster. Na nakitaan naman natin ng potential even when he was playing for 3x3. But you get a player like Troy Rosario. Magu, it's another big move. Siyempre, sugal yan. Kasi hindi mo naman alam kung ano yung magiging resulta. But Blackwater officials have said that they've long coveted having a player like Troy Rosario. Does this move, just remind you of the continuous rebuild ng mga ibang koponan? Or would you have liked Blackwater to keep it together maybe a little bit longer and test out? Kasi it was a big step forward from having that massive losing skid to qualifying for the quarterfinals. They took a step in the right direction.
Sayang lang kasi we didn't see too much of Brandon Rosser in this lineup. He came in hurt. Nasaktan siya nung nag-represent siya ng Pilipinas sa Gilas 3x3. And then, nung pagpasok niya, nangapa pa muna and then we saw flashes of brilliance as you've said, Carlo. Pero we didn't really get to see him be tested in trying to lead a squad like this. But now, okay, nawala sila, malaking panghihinayang. Any basketball fan would say that. But now you get a guy like Troy Rosario. I've always been a fan of Troy. This guy is a consummate pro. You know this for a fact, Carlo. Kasama ka niya nun sa overseas. This guy graduated college. Nasa Gila siya. This guy got drafted in the PBA. Wala siya, nasa Gila siya. Hindi pa uso Zoom nun, FaceTime lang yung ginamit doon. Facebook Messenger, chat lang, Pero this guy, nga, nung finals lang, yung anak niya, na-intubate po, nasa ospital ilang araw, but he continued to be in uniform, be available for TNT. This guy, yung dedication niya sa basketball. And if you guys don't even know his life story yet, i-track back nyo dito either sa YouTube or sa Facebook page ng Tuti. Nakakwentuhan natin si Troy a long time ago during the pandemic. Pakinggan nyo po yung life story ni Troy. Matindi pinagdaanan nito ni Troy throughout his career. Kaya yung pagmamahal niya sa basketball, sobra-sobra na yung sinusukli niya sa basketball throughout. Regardless of what's happening with his personal life, yung basketball inuuna niya this time around. You know he's gonna get the minutes here. We already said it. He lost his minutes. He lost his rotation with TNT in the Philippine Cup. You know he's gonna get 35 minutes here. And I expect nothing less but maybe a 20-10 average para dito kay Troy. At 20-10, something close to it. 18-9. Sumobra close. 18-9. Somewhere around those lines. And then you've also got a guy like Baser Amer, a man on a mission. Si Baser, ganda na simula niya sa Philippine Cup. Nag-fizzle out pagdating ng dulo. Now, if he can put together an entire conference like that, find the Baser that we've all known from San Beda to Meralco to shades of that in the Philippine Cup, this thing could be promising at best. Yun lang, kulang pa rin.
Sir Brigido Castillo, shout out, watching from Dubai, in Saudi Arabia. Thank you so much. Irvin Rivera from Nueva Ecija is also watching. Jamil Benito Ibrahim, ano ang maganda sa pagbabalik ni Coach Heng Saros? Pag-usapan po natin yan maya-maya. Shout out sa inyong lahat, everyone watching, 850 people watching right now. We thank each and every one of you. Ato Ular, a key player. The top rookie of the Philippine Cup, no doubt about it. Surprised everyone, even maybe his teammates, even the team that drafted him, because he was not even their first rounder. They drafted Mark Dyke ahead of Ato Ular. Pero nanggulat itong si Ato, so he should have a strong performance once again. As we take a look at the schedule nitong Blackwater, mahirap-hirap nga yung umpisa, no? Because yung mga higante ng Bay Area yung makakatapat. Inside story, Magwa, nakalimutan ko ikwento kanina. Naalala mo yung tune-up game ng Gilas Pilipinas sa loob ng bubble against China? Remember that, di ba? Hindi magka-group yung China at saka yung Pilipinas. No, FIBA Asia Cup, SJ Belanghel game winner, whatever. And then nag-decision sila that before they head into their different competitions for the Olympic qualifying tournaments, maglalaro sila against each other in a tune-up game, closed door, sobrang konti lang nung nakapanood. Si Big Liu, they were down by 3, namigay ng foul si Gio Chu. Kasi it was a smart play, di ba? Foul mo na lang and then they need to get things perfectly to be able to tie instead of getting a 3-point shot. Pinasok yung unang free throw, minintis yung pangalawa, tapos si Big Liu yung nakatira ng tip-in, kaya nag-tie, ganun natapos yung laban. So that's how, he plays. He plays big, he knows his spot, and surely he will be a big headache for the other teams who do not have 7'5" players, which means everyone in the PBA Bay Area, Phoenix and Lex, bago San Miguel, Northport, Terra Firma, TNT Converge, Magnolia. Spread out yung mga tough teams na haharapin itong Blackwater Bossing, which might give them some confidence kung makapulot ka ng maagang panalo, Mago.
Back in the Philippine Cup, nanggulat sila 4-1 or 5-1 to, no? Like 5-1 sila with their only loss coming at the hands of Barangay Hinebra. And then after that, big loss to San Miguel kung saan nagkaroon pa ng mga kontrobersya dahil sina Coach Ariel, sinasabi nila, ganito, ganon, dapat daw sila nanalo doon. After that, sumadsad na etong Blackwater. It might be one of two things. It might be, first and foremost, talagang baka naubusan etong Blackwater. Secondly, teams started to pay attention.
Sure.
Teams started to pay more attention to them na, hindi na to walk in the park, hindi na to check kagad pagdating sa, usually mga teams na yan, mga coaches, management, yung ganitong klaseng kalendaryo, may mga check and X na yan kung saan sila susungkit ng mga panalo. Hindi na automatic check nun. Ang tanong na lang ngayon, ang balita din kasi natin, nakakasyam na tune-up game itong Blackwater. And in the course of this, marami yatang may iniinda ngayon. So, baka nasunog ng maaga itong Blackwater during this off-season. Let's see. It'll depend on how healthy they are. But even though everybody healthy para sa Blackwater, for me personally, because everybody's paying closer attention to them now, it'll be tough for them to try and break into the quarterfinals this time around. Nakarating sila ng quarterfinals na itong Philippine Cup. Now, that's the challenge. Yun yung challenge kayo ng management at ng coaching staff to this entire squad. Try and do it again. And try and make it a little bit higher para naman hindi number 1, number 2, twice the bit kagad yung makakatapat mo. Di ba, Carlo?
Yep. Let's see how they try to build on the positives that they picked up. Cameron Krutwig is their import. Big boy.
23 anyos to. That's the one plus.
Yep.
23 anyos, you know the energy is going to be there, and willing passer. Yun ang
Yep.
mga nababasa natin, napapanood natin konting highlights.
Shout out kay Nitram Creed. So Dirk Martin, siya on-site duty from TV5 Nova Airtime Department natin. Maraming salamat po for watching. Oh,
Si Eurydice Tono Gilas from Hong Kong. Magandang gabi po. Norman Maling, shout out na rin po sa inyo. Ayan po, sa lahat na nakatutok sa atin.
Chester
Red
Soriano. Go.
Ayun, magandang gabi sa inyo. Coach Frankie Lim has just been appointed. Sabi ni si Julian Lapid is confirming. Well, check that. Thank you, Julian. Sabi nga niya na si Papa Lim daw nasa NLEX na. May mga breaking news tayo habang live tayong hirap mag-confirm.
It's been reported, di ba? It's been reported by multiple reputable sports websites na yun nga po, Frankie Lim will be named as the head coach of the NLEX Road
Ano
Warriors.
ang pinaka-exciting dyan?
Oh.
We see Miyaka again. Hi, Miaks.
Hi for the win days.
Mag-iingay si Miyaka sa Araneta. Yun ang masaya doon. You gotta love it when Miyaka gets worked out.
Malay mo nagbago na. Tingnan natin.
Si Miyaka, dalagang Pilipinong demure. Hindi manggugulo. Baduy nun. Masaya pag nanggugulo si Miyaka. No?
Sila na yung pag-usapan natin. NLEX Road Warriors. Of course, the biggest change in NLEX, head coach. They lose Coach Yeng Giao. They lose Raul Soyu. They lose Calvin Oftana. Pero dagdag naman itong si Brandon Ganuelos Rosser. Shoutout kay Jerwin Palo Nohay. Magandang gabi, Kuya Jerwin. Ito yung sa akin, Magu. A Coach Yeng Giao coach squad is difficult to coach after he departs.
Yeah.
He builds a specific kind of team towards his liking na alam niyang paandarin somehow. Kaya pag umaalis siya, pag iniiwan niya yung kupunan na yon, nahihirapang makabawi. Diba? Kasi nga, sobrang specific nung ginagawa ni Coach Yeng.
Kita mo naman ginawa niya dito, Carlo.
Yep.
Mamaya pala, sa Rainer Shine ko pa pala bamanggitin. Yun yung swerte lang ng Rainer Shine dati. Si Coach Kaloy yung naiwan. And Coach Kaloy was right beside Coach Yeng when they built that Rainer Shine.
But it wasn't the same success. It was nowhere near the same success. No? Kaya nagbalasa rin yung Rainer Shine with Coach Chris Gavina coming in. So you have now 3 coaches with head coaching experience in the PBA. You know, handling Rainer Shine. Mamaya natin sila pag-uusapan. The NLEX Road Warriors. Yep, Earl Clark, another former NBA player, will be their import. Ito yung mahirap ngayon, di ba? This, again, was formed to the liking of Coach Yeng. Lahat ng mga moves, maybe except for Calvin Oftana kasi nangyari after he departed, were specifically made by Coach Yeng to build the team with his vision. Now, with Coach Frankie Lim reportedly coming in, how challenging will this be for them? At least at the start.
At the very start, kapaan talaga yan. I'd be actually surprised if Coach Frankie tumayo kagad. Baka mamaya nakaupo muna si Coach Frankie habang pinapabayaan muna yung coaching staff na magpatakbo neto. But hopefully for NLEX, guys like Kevin Alas, guys like, especially a guy like Don Troliano, hopefully magtuloy-tuloy yung magandang nilaro nila. Jer Kenyan will be Jer Kenyan. Brandon Rosser should be interesting how he meshes with this lineup. But the rest of the squad, you expect what you expect from them. Pero yung Kevin Alas, napaka-importanteng bagay para dito sa NLEX. He needs to continue. He had, 16, 17 points, 4 rebounds, and 5 assists per game in the Philippine Cup. Somewhere along those lines, those are solid numbers, Carlo.
Yeah, definitely something to build towards para kay Kevin Alas. Shout out kay Cristino Noble, Jasper Von Gonzago Maquinto, magandang gabi. Si Jerwin Palo Nohay, nag-greet na yata natin kanina. And everyone else watching right now. Again, yung pong mga nagtatanong sa streaming, you can download Signal Play. Yun po yung mag-e-ere ng mga laban on streaming. Syempre, the second game of every game day will be available on Smart Sports. If not, if you have a TV in front of you, One Sports, TV5, and PBA Rush ang mga opportunities to watch catch the games in the PBA Commissioner's Cup. And
More shoutouts, Carlo?
Yes, go ahead.
Aldrin Escosa, kamusta po? Shoutout din kay Jonathan Garcia. Roof Derek Cayago, magandang gabi po. Arvin Pascual, Romel Manalang. Uy, si Ronald Reagan nanonood sa atin. Ronald Reagan.
Matakot ka.
Sir.
Matakot ka.
Amumu. Sino ba? Ang dami dito eh. Tristan Lucero yung nagtanong sa'yo, saan mapapanood? TV5, One Sports, PBA Rush, Smart Giga, and sa Signal Play. Mapapanood pa. Pagka second game, meron na sa
Smart
Facebook
Sports
page na itong Smart Sports. Pagka first game, Smart Giga tayo. Second game, Smart Giga and Facebook page ng Smart Sports.
Sabi ni Ma'am Kat Miranda, bakit wala na pong mga provincial games? I think according to the schedule ng PBA, yung targets nila to have provincial games in the Governor's Cup. So wala po muna. Di ba? Pag bumukas-bukas na, pag mas madali na mag-travel, they're looking at the Governor's Cup. So bigyan nyo lang po ng konting oras. I'm sure magkakaroon din tayo. Magkakaroon din tayo.
Actually, in fairness, nung simula pa lang ng season or even before the season started, sinabi na ni Boss Com Willie Marshall yan na tumatarget sila ng 3-4 na out-of-town game sa third conference. He never promised anything in the Philippine Cup or the Scovs Cup. Target natin sa third conference. So, mga January, February, abangan natin po. Unahin muna natin itong tournament at hand na magbubukas po bukas, 3 p.m. Mapapanood sa TV5. Of course, PBA Rush, Smart Giga. Sabay-sabay po natin tutukan yan. Blackwater, Bay Area, ang first game.
Bago, narinig mong may nag-ring, di ba? Sa part ko. 2 message may pumasok. Kasi po nag-message yung asawa ko. Sabi niya, remind everyone that they can watch through I Want TFC when they're abroad. Okay.
Nasa I Want TFC na? Nice.
Oo, yung PBA Rush is on I Want TFC. So, pwede nyo rin pong panoorin dyan. Just one of the other ways that you can watch and enjoy PBA action. Shout out kay Eliza Umali. Magandang gabi po. Good evening, ma'am. Itong si Richmond J. Banyes, Liza Ann Alvarado, shoutout po from Pampanga. Basta Kapampangan, sina-shoutout namin. Wag lang po kayong makakalimot sa pagdating ng 2025. Carlo Pamintuan po lamang. Hindi na nagtatanong kung tagasan no?
For governor, for governor.
Wag. Grabe ka naman. Grabe ka naman sa governor. Di natin. Respeto lang kay Delta. Magandang gabi kay Daryl Borbon. Shoutout po sa inyo. John Lloyd and Don watching from Antayam, San Ildefonso, Bulacan. Schedule ng NLEX Road Warriors. Makakapuhunan ba sila sa umpisa? Mahihirapan ba with all of the big teams front-loaded? Let's see the schedule. Silipin natin ngayon, Gops. Rain or Shine, Meralco.
Yun, matindi. Coach yan agad.
Tough king.
At saka yung September 23 na yan, just to let everybody know, or kung alam nyo na, remind everybody, sa Ultra yan. Phil Sports. Throwback tayo.
Old school.
Ano ba pag Friday? Flashback Friday. FBF tayo ngayon darating na Biyernes. Rain or Shine and Lex, Phil Sports, yung dati pong Ultra. Kaso sarado pala yung Meralco Avenue, no? Sa kabila tayo dumaan.
Lipad ka.
Sa Meralco Avenue.
Oo. Hindi, mag-park ka sa estansya tapos lakarin mo. Laban na yon. Pwede na siguro yon. Anyway, mabigat-bigat yung schedule.
And Rain or Shine, Meralco, Blackwater. And then makikita mo yung karne talaga. Magnolia, TNT, San Miguel, sunod-sunod. 12, 19, and 23 ng October. Hopefully though, September pa lang naman tayo. They've got about 3 weeks to work out the kinks, and if totoo na nga na they have a brand new coach, get that system in place. That's 3 weeks. Dahil yung karne nga ng order nila sa schedule, ang bigat ng sunod ng 3 yan.
Robert Cahayon watching from Manila. Shoutout din sa 300 na nanonood on YouTube Live. Magulipat ka doon. Doon ka naman magbasa ng shoutout. Baka merong mga gustong magpa-shoutout sa YouTube page natin. Moving forward with our next squad, na pag-usapan na natin yung NLEX, Converge, Fiber Xers naman. I'm very excited to see all of the teams in the upcoming conference, Magu.
I'm excited to see most of them.
But I think specifically gusto kong makita gaano kaiba yung lalaroin ng Converge Fiber Xers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ito.
Yeah.
You gotta look forward to it, Coach Alden Ayo. You don't see yung sinasabi mayhem defense nga niya. You don't see, kahit na nung si Coach Franz nag-coach sa PBA, you don't see him making grown men play an entire game playing pressure defense in the backcourt. I don't know if Coach Alden will actually try this with Converge. If he does, it's gonna bring mayhem to the PBA stage. Grabe, di ba?
Mag-iiba no? Mag-iiba yung timpla. Nagdagdag nga siya ng players who he trusts, di ba? Trading for Aljon Melesio from Phoenix Super LPG. It cost them Kurt Lohera and Ben Adamos. But if you are Coach Alden Ayo making your debut in the PBA, syempre gusto mo yung mga sundalo na, bibigay lahat-lahat talaga para sa'yo, yung mga subok mo na, and that's why he's banking on those players. Quincy Miller will be their import. Itong si Jeron Teng will be coming off an injury. Abu Tratter with the squad, of course. Maverick Ahanmisi played great. Veteran minutes for Converge, especially in the early parts of the conference, kung saan nakapagpundar sila ng panalo. RK Ilagan, of course, a big time
baby boy
player.
Yung baby boy. O kaya may mas maangas. Yung baby boy actually medyo creepy gangster yung dating. Pero
parang rapper.
Di ba? Pero may isa pa yan. Shotgun RK Ilagan. Yan ang inabangan natin because when you think RK Ilagan, parang bagay kay Coach Alden Ayo yung dating, di ba? Parang baka mag-fit sa sistema eh. You know what I like about this squad back in the Philippine Cup? You know the potentials there, Carlo. 15 yung player sa official lineup. 14 of the 15, 14 to sa 15 player na itong Converge, at least one game in the Philippine Cup, nakascore ng double digits. Si Lohera nga lang yung hindi, pero hindi nagkaminuto dahil nasaktan, di ba? Nagkatama sa, sa mata. Baka kung hindi nasaktan to, naka-double digits yan. What does that tell you? The potential is there. On any given game day, on any given game, merong kapasidad umiscore yung mga player. Now it's just all about putting it together and just really getting an identity, I guess, Carla. Kasi yun din naman ang downfall nun. Any given game day, iba-iba yung gumagawa. Yung iba malas, yung iba maganda yung laro. Hindi mo na malaman kung kanino talaga yung team. Of course, Jeron Teng missed a lot of time, so we didn't see him take responsibility for this team. I wonder if he gets that same responsibility now from his old coach and Coach Alden.
Ako, simple lang yung sagot dyan, Mago. It does not matter if may pa-isa-isa or dala-dalawang mag-step up at any given game as long as you have a prolific import. Will Quincy Miller be that guy? Diba? It all changes. Kung hindi mo alam kung sino yung mag-step up in any game, pero meron kang import na kayang pumrenta kada laro, buhay na yung Converge. Diba? That is the beauty of the Commissioner's Cup or any import conference for that matter. If you get the perfect import that is suited to the gameplay of your squad that will maximize his local teammates, then it all changes. Then you have a chance to upset yung mga loaded na teams that were dominant in the Philippine Cup.
Speaking of Converge, Kapampangan may-ari, sina Boss Dennis. May nagtatanong din sa'yo, Carlo. Joe Tam, sabi mo, sumilip ako sa YouTube eh. Boss Carlo, taga saan ka po sa Angeles?
Angeles, Pampanga po. Born and raised in Pulongbulo, Barangay Pulongbulo. Full-fledged Kapampangan. So, wag po kayong
makalimot. Pag
dyan,
may pakain, gano'n.
Wag po kayong makakalimot. 2015.
Kaya nagtatanong, nakikikain kami. Pwede ba yun?
Oo naman. Sabihin nyo pangalan ko. Sabi nila, who you?
Shoutout na rin sa lahat ng nasa Abu Dhabi nanonood ngayon. Si Paul Yuri Matawaran. Magandang gabi, magandang araw po sa iyo, sir. Sana bumalik po yung FTW. Sabi naman ni Kaput Draconish, ang problema po kasi nga, si Charles Chu sumobra po ang taas ng TF. Nag-wave na kaming lahat. Sina Carlo, ako, sina Kuya Miko, libre na lang.
Totoo po yan.
Tayo. Sa sobrang taas nung kay Charles Chu, hindi po talaga kaya.
Ito na lang gagawin natin, Mago. Ito na lang gagawin natin. Manonood na ng PBA game si Miyaka, di ba?
Yan.
Pakikita na natin sa venue, di ba? Pwede.
Pwede.
Kahit hindi buo. Kahit tayong tatlo lang muna. Pwede.
Tsaka kailangan mainit lang ulo ni Miyaka.
Galing sa
mas
talo.
Mas masaya pag mainit ulo nun.
Shout out kay Kabalen, Wilfred Ocampo, Maya Pabengi po kaya kayo. Thank you for watching. Converge naman, tignan natin yung schedule. Tignan
Habang
natin yung
tinitignan
schedule.
natin, GNXD, Vince Haniel, magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. Saan na ba? Andiyan na ba?
Quincy Miller yung kanilang import, no? So, sisilipin natin. Yun din yung mga exciting na abangan, di ba? Kasi ang daming imports na bago. There are lots of new faces for these squads, and it will vary yung kanilang magiging kampanya kung gaano ka-fit, gaano kagaling yung kanilang mga imports. Terra Firma, Hinebra, bigat yan. Hinebra, Magnolia, Bay Area, Meralco, San Miguel, TNT. Whew! That's a tough schedule for Converge. But
bigat.
If you get 2-3 wins, 4-3 maybe, and then survive that, and then yung back end mas magaan ng konti, who knows? Converge might make it into the next stage, but that is a tough 5-game stretch. Hinebra, Magnolia, Bay Area, Meralco, San Miguel. You could say, and even TNT, you could say that the semifinals cast might just come from those teams na minention natin. Right?
Pwede.
It would not surprise us.
Most likely, the possibility, no? They play first on Friday sa Phil Sports, Terra Firma, and then they catch Hinebra Samoa on Sunday. That's going to be Hinebra's first game of this tournament. So, when you think about it, sila masascout. Makikita na natin kung may mayhem defense nga, makikita na ng konti nila Coach Tim kung itatakbo na itong Converge. That's gonna be an interesting clash. Yung Coach Tim and Coach Alden Ayo, masusukat kagad ni Coach Alden yung sarili niya against the winningest coach there is, di ba?
Yep. So let's see. Very excited to see how Converge will play. Balikan natin, Northport, Batang Pier, a team that pulled off major move, no? Na trade out itong si Jamie Malonzo. They were able to pick up si Arvin Tolentino, Prince Caperal. This squad ng Northport, you know that they will always have players there. Di ba? Hindi naman mauubusan ng talents that are with the Northport squad. I guess it's just a matter of keeping things together. And it certainly helps them out when you have a returning import in Prince Ibe. Kasi at least, alam na ng mga ibang members ng team kung paano yung laro niya, how he is highly defensive player. But looking at the lineup, the lay of the land, when you have Robert Bolick and Arvin Santos, and you add, a shooter like Arvin, Prince Caperal also with that squad, syempre mamimiss mo yung Jamie Malonzo. Pero ganun karaming scorers anchored dun sa depensa ni Prince Ibe, Northport could be a headache for some teams in the PBA, Magu.
They could give teams a run for their money, pero you just end up doubting if Northport can make it all the way to the semis at least. Baka kung sakali makasingit hanggang quarters, but that's gonna be a tough order. Arvin will always be Arvin. Berto is hungry as ever. Etong si Arvin Tolentino, Carlo, shades of brilliance, flashes of brilliance, but got hurt. And then when he came back from injury, never really got his minutes back sa Barangay Hinebra. So he's gonna be a man on a mission. At lalo naman siguro ito si Caperal. Most improved player sa Clark. Tapos halos nawala na sa eksena. It's gonna be up to him now to prove to everybody that he deserves more minutes. Kasi ang hirap naman magkaminuto nung Stan Hardinger at Aguilar rin nasa harap mo. Ang hirap magkaminuto nun para magkaroon ng pagkakataong patunayan sarili mo. Here's gonna be his chance. But no doubt about it, Northport got the raw end of this trade because Jamie Malonzo is Jamie Malonzo. The upside is just limitless para doon si Jamie Malonzo. Barangay Hinebra won that trade. Let's see how Tolentino and Caperal prove us wrong.
Big Northport fan here, sabi ni Mark Ronald De Leon. Excited to see Batang Pier with the tried and tested and humble Prince Ibe. Again, the defensive anchor, yan mismo yung kailangan ng Northport kasi in terms of offensive prowess, may bala naman sila. So let's see how that works out for Coach Pido Harencio. Terra Firma, Jeep, another team that will welcome back a former PBA import already. Schedule pala muna ng Northport, Phoenix, Bay Area, Meralco, TNT, Blackwater. Spread out naman yung kanilang schedule. So it should be a fun little conference for Northport. We will see where they end up. Kasi nga po, yung format natin, no? Single round robin, tapos 5 teams agad yung hindi makakaabot. And Magu, to me, it's looking like Bay Area will have enough to at least make it to the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
So if you're any PBA team, parang 5 yung posibleng malaglag in the elimination round, and it should be interesting kung saan mag-end up itong Northport.
Kasi when you think about it, hindi naman sa taking it for granted, but unless something tragic happens, you know TNT is going to be there. You know San Miguel is going to be there. You know Magnolia, Hinebra are going to be there. And Meralco should be solid into that top 5. Sasama mo ngayon yung Bay Area. De 6 na. Pag tinignan mo yung from the outside point of view lang.
Yep.
Pwedeng dalawa na lang yung
On
pinaghabol.
paper.
On paper,
on
dalawa
paper.
na lang yung inahabol mong quarterfinal slot. Because you know those guys are going to be there. Titignan na lang natin yun. Who else will be joining them?
Itong next team natin, Terra Firma Jeep, as I said, hindi magpapalit ng import. Lester Prosper, naturalized Indonesian, will be returning to action for them. Joshua Munson, of course, we all know how talented he is. Wami Chongson. But what are you seeing here? Ano yung pwedeng gawin ng Terra Firma to threaten for a quarterfinal spot, Magu? Naglag ka.
Nag-iisip pa.
Nag-iisip ka pa.
Nag-iisip ako.
Kala ko na hirapan yung connection mo eh. Kinabahan ako eh. Alam ko kasi mabilis naman yung PLDT internet mo, kaya medyo kinabahan na ako.
May free boost ako ngayon. May free boost ako this month. Nililigawan ka ng free boost eh, from 200 to 300 para nagustuhan mo. Bilhin mo.
Hey! Upgrade ka.
It's hard to imagine Terra Firma breaking into the top 8 teams. But, of course, simula pa lang, every new beginning, every single conference na magbubukas, yun yung maganda dun eh. 0-0 lahat ng team. Terra Firma, they try. Munzon, he's been hot and cold with the coaching staff and the management, I guess. There were games na hindi pinalaro. Ito si Munzon. There were games
or nabangko sa second half.
Nababangko sa second half. May mga games naman na kumbaga sa kabayo, binibitawan yung tali, bahayaan mo siyang tignan natin kung ano mangyari. Hopefully, with Alex Cabagnot there, he's learned more through his time with Terra Firma. Let's see what Munzon has to offer. Ano na to? Pang-ilang conference na ni Munzon? Pagiging pang-4 ba?
Fourth,
Tama?
yeah.
Pagiging pang-4. Let's see.
May
3 conferences, let's see.
May isang player na sobrang excited ako mapanood sa Terra Firma, Magu. Ang pangalan niya, Alex Cabagnot. He was playing really well before he unfortunately injured his Achilles. No? Napakalaking injury. But at this age, I'm still excited to see how he bounces back. Kasi alam natin yung tatag, alam natin yung caliber ng isang Alex Cabagnot, alam natin kung ano pa yung pwede niyang ibigay sa Terra Firma. Kaya, that veteran leadership always helps when you have that playing for your squad.
Let's see their schedule nga, real quick.
Yep.
Terra Firma, tinitignan ko agad dito yung October 22 eh.
Bakit?
Nakita ko naka-line up siya doon sa PBA Moto Club eh. Sa October 22, papayagan ba yan?
Hindi na pwede maglaro doon sa PBA.
May laro siyang 21 Bay Area,
pwede yun.
28 Hinebra. Hindi ko alam kung nakapagpaalam na maayos. So,
magko-coach
hindi pa
lang.
naman naglalaro ha. Nakita ko lang naka-line up. Hindi pa naglalaro. Kasama niya, si Kramer. Si Mr. Bicep Shot, kasama, naka-line up si Kramer ha.
Converge, Magnolia, Ross, Blackwater, Meralco, Blackwater Bay Area, Hinebra, TNT. Decent spread for Terra Firma. No really difficult back-to-back games, at least from this side looking at the schedule. So let's see.
Iba ngayon, Carlo. Usually 6 automatic in, 5 either in or playoff, 4 suntok sa 1. We're talking about wins here. Doon sa 12 team setup, 13 team ngayon so may iba mat natin. Pero usually nga, hanapan natin ng 4 wins. You're gonna have to pick up your first game Converge, your October 14 against Blackwater, your
November 12,
and your Phoenix,
and your NLEX.
And maybe your NLEX even.
Sure.
And suntok sa buwan against Bay Area.
Magu,
Because you're gonna need 5 or 6.
Magu, you could say the same about all of the teams you mentioned with each other. Diba? Yung lahat ng teams that we mentioned, outside the teams that we're expecting to be, our semi-finalists, dapat as many wins against each other as possible. Ganun lang naman kasimple. Tapos,
Doon
diba?
magkakatalo because you keep winning against those guys who are on your level. That gives you a shot of sneaking into the playoffs. Yun nga,
Diba?
2 slot nga lang hinahanapan natin diba?
Makagulat ka ng isang Magnolia, isang Meralco, diba? Then that might be a playoff spot for you. So,
Nakalimutan natin Rainer Shine. Tanda natin, annual tradition yun.
Yep.
Philippine Therapy may Rainer Shine.
Yep.
But that was without Coach Yang. Ayaw natin yan. Baka magbago na.
Next team on top, Magnolia Chicken Templados Hot Shots. Like the Meralco Bolts, halos hindi gumalaw itong Magnolia. No, barely any difference. Yung only difference was, nagpunta sa 3x3 team nila, itong si RR De Leon. Maglalaro naman para sa 5-on-5, itong si Jed Mendoza, who was...
That guy was tough.
Yep.
That guy was good. That guy's tough as sales. That guy has a nose for the ball. That guy knows exactly what to do. I hope he gets minutes though. Because that
perfect
guard rotation, Carlo.
He's perfect for the guards nitong Magnolia, di ba? Alongside Baroka and Halalon. Yan yung mga panggulo, pandepensa mo. Kaya naman siguro bibigyan siya ng pagkakataon maglaro ni Coach Chito. Maybe he gets minutes. I think Gio is still, working his way back to full health. Di ba? Kasi yun nga, na-injure late in the playoffs ng ating Philippine Cup. We're hoping that he'll be 100% healthy come the start of the Philippine Cup. Nick
yung import nila, Carlo, bata rin to.
Oo.
Nick Rakocevic, bata rin, malaki, 6'10", used to be part of the under-20 team nila.
Serbia, yeah.
Yun nga Serbian basketball, ang dadaling flavor neto ng import ng Magnolia.
Yeah, sure.
And his youth, you insert that youth to guys like Lee and Abueva. They're both getting up there in age. And it should be interesting times dito sa kampo nila, Coach Chito.
Yeah, as always, Magnolia should be a threat to at least make it into the semifinals once again. Kasi gano'n naman talaga, di ba? Parang nakakagulat pag quarterfinals lang yung naaabot nitong Magnolia. Let's
yun yung
check out
kalidad
this. Yeah.
When we talk about that, hindi yung, sabi nila ganito kagad, siguro fan sila nun. I personally am a fan of any team that tries to win. Pero when you look at it on paper at least, these guys should be in the semis right away.
Consistency, keeping the team intact. Ganun lang naman yung tinitingnan natin, di ba? Kung hindi naman nagbago yung lineup, nagdagdag ng import, bakit mo naman iisipin that they will suddenly not get things right and struggle in the next conference? Terra Firma converge before they take on TNT and Lex Northport. So, yung Magnolia, pangatlong laro na nila, yung magiging unang laban ng TNT. So, they will have that, strength in their schedule. Kasi nakapag-warm up na sila. Yung TNT, unang laro pa lang nila yan. NLEX, Northport, Hinebra, Rainer Shine. Itong dulong stretch siguro, yung medyo challenging, no? San Miguel, Bay Area, and Meralco for Magnolia. But other than that, this is a decent schedule for Magnolia.
Sa mga nagtatanong na bakit yung TNT late, pati po yung San Miguel ganyan. If you've been paying attention at all to the PBA the past few years, pagka po galing sa finals, bibigyan ng extra 2 weeks off, 1 or 2 weeks off ng Commissioner's Office yan. Para kasi syempre sila yung huling-huli naglaro, hayaan mo muna silang makapag-recover naman, di ba?
Yep. Now moving forward to our next team, Barangay Hinebra, San Miguel. This will be vastly, I think, different Barangay Hinebra squad. Of course, Justin Brownlee will always be there, but the addition of 3 specific players. Jeremiah Gray, they traded for him with Terra Firma in exchange for, I think, a package involving itong si Javi Gomez de Liaño. Von Pesumal will also be making his debut with them. Tapos may Jamie Malonzo, of course, the trade with Northport Batang Pierre. The mindset, I think, for Barangay Hinebra is very simple. They saw what SMB did. They loaded their squad, which is basically 8 superstar deep, and that is now the peg. Yun yung hahabulin mo, ganun kalakas yung kailangan mong tapatan. They loaded up with as many good players as they can get a hold of.
Hopefully, this time around, Von Pesumal gets minutes. Any consistency in terms of minutes para dito kay Pesumal, because alam din naman natin yung potential neto. This guy is a dead shot. Hopefully, he gets a chance to show his wares dito sa Barangay Hinebra, because yung pinalitan niya naman sa pwesto in essence, Jeff Chan, who late in the Philippine Cup was getting minutes anyway. So merong butas eh.
Yeah.
Merong butas para dito kay Pesumal na magkaroon ng 10-15 minutes a game just to, not right away, kasi syempre kararating lang naman dyan ni Pesumal. But kalaunan, hopefully, he would be the shooter that Barangay Hinebra has always wanted. Yung Malonzo. Yun yung mabigat dito. We talk about every single time na lang yung Scotty Thompson, yung Aguilar, yung Pringle, yung LA Tenorio. Pero yung Malonzo, idagdag mo dito sa team na to. Ito yung it should be must watch. Kung hindi pa must watch TV, must watch pa ngayon etong Barangay Hinebra because of the addition of that young man, Carlo.
Oh, it should be fun. Should be fun basketball. Might see a high octane offense coming from Barangay Hinebra when you have runners like Jeremiah Gray and Malonzo alongside Thompson, Pringle, syempre nandyan pa, Brownlee. Of course, Justin Brownlee is a former best import in the Commissioner's Cup, former champion in the Commissioner's Cup. So even if there are bigger, stronger, taller players on the other side, you cannot count him off. You cannot say that he has old knees. Hindi po totoo ang haka-haka. Justin Brownlee is still the same old beast. My question, Magu, is this worked out for Barangay Hinebra when they had Craig Slaughter in the lineup to defend the other 6'10 imports? Now you don't. It is Japet and Christian Stan Hardinger. Do you think that combination will be good enough to defend the 6'10 imports of the other teams?
Yun ang mabigat doon. Sa third conference, madali mong sabing oo.
Sure.
Pero dito, masusubukan yung palagi nga resident import na si Brownlee. The formula works na kahit malalaki import, pasok siya. Pero ngayon, baka nga, should be interesting to see once people start getting in foul trouble. Hopefully nobody gets hurt. Yung Jamie Malonzo can play big as well, all the way up to the 4 spot. Maybe a little bit of the 5. But he's only 6'5", 6'6" pa rin. Wala pa rin 6'10" na makakarelyebo. Ito si Japet and Christian.
That's why, Magu, I found it a little bit surprising that Prince Capiral was part of the trade. If you know, of course, I am not doubting the decision making of the winningest coach in PBA history, di ba? Hindi naman po tayo magmamarunong tulad niyan. Pero actually ako, personally, nagulat lang ako na parang, yung big, namigay sila ng isang big in a conference where they might need, all the fouls they can get against players like Earl Clark and Cameron Oliver. Yun lang naman, from the outside looking in, from a very, very small basketball mind, comparing what I know to Coach Tim Cone, which is nothing whatsoever. Yun lang yung medyo ikinagulat ko. But I think that would be the challenge. If they defend the other imports, then they have, a shot at moving further along into the Commissioner's Cup.
Sabi nga ni Coach Tim, okay, magiging problema yung malalaki import, pero problemahin din daw nila si Brownlee.
Kasi local yung magbabantay kay Brownlee.
Mismatch din naman para dito kay JV.
Totoo rin naman.
Yung gigil factor ng Barangay Hinebra. Everybody on that lineup believes they should not have gotten knocked out in the quarterfinals last time around. Hindi sila sanay ng at least semis man lang makalaban, magkaroon ng pagkakataon. Let's see how they translate that on the floor this time around. They take on Converge right away on Sunday.
Tough part of the schedule, pretty spaced off well. Hindi magkakadikit yung mga San Miguel, TNT, Magnolia, Bay Area, Meralco. Yun siguro, Bay Area and Meralco, but pretty decent schedule for Barangay Hinebra as well. We're down to our final, I think, 2 teams, Magu. 3 teams rather. Let's talk about the San Miguel Beermen.
Yeah.
Philippine Cup champion San Miguel Beermen, defending Commissioner's Cup champion San Miguel Beermen, Grand Slam chasing San Miguel Beermen. They will no longer have Juan Pesumal, but he was a player that, although very good for what he does, did not get to see a lot of minutes under Coach Leo Austria. Their attack will still be all about Junmar Fajardo, itong si CJ Perez, and their import, a big name. A lottery pick in Thomas Robinson.
Top 5 pick, only I think the 3rd top 5 NBA draft pick to ever play in the PBA. Ito si Robinson. So it's gonna be big para dito San Miguel. And when you break down their numbers from the Philippine Cup, San Miguel was 7 deep. They were playing 7 guys. They were giving an additional 1 or 2 guys 3 minutes, 8 minutes a game. Pero yung bulto nandun pa rin sa top 7 with Junmar leading the way. in terms of minutes. So ngayon nilagyan mong import, magiging 8 deep. And that's the way Coach Leo Austria has always coached. That's the way he's won 9 championships. So ayun na naman, Carlo. Hindi rin natin pwedeng questionin na naman yun.
Of course, San Miguel, always a threat. And you know that they're hungry to become Grand Slam champions.
Yeah.
Once again.
Yung hindi nakuha ng Death 5. Baka itong new gen ang makahabol niyan. And huli nating nakakwentuhan si Terence was during the finals of the Philippine Cup. Ang sure daw siya third conference makakalaro siya. Pero baka lang late in the elims or at least in the playoffs netong second conference, baka daw makahabol. Slip disc po yung problema. So napakahirap po mag-comeback. Hopefully for Terence and for San Miguel fans, makabalik si Romeo in time.
Okay. Schedule naman, again, this will be delayed a bit sa kanilang pag-uumpisa, being the champions ng ating Philippine Cup. And then, yun yung challenging, no, for TNT and San Miguel, both the teams. They will have a delayed start, tapos meron pang span na wala silang laro because of national team duties for some of their players. So, kita nyo po, exactly. Kita nyo po dyan yung game between Barangay Hinebra, the dates between Barangay Hinebra and Magnolia. That's 10 solid days of no games for SMB. Kaya magiging tight ito, no? Magiging dikit-dikit yung mga laro nila. Tignan mo yun, no? 21, 23, 26, 29. Napakarami nilang kailangang laruin. And hindi rin naman biro-biro yung mga tatapatan nilang koponan early in their schedule before they close things out with a tough backend as well with Hinebra, Magnolia, and even TNT before they close the book on their elimination round schedule. Magu, are you thinking that San Miguel Beer will be the clear-cut favorites in the Commissioner's Cup?
Should be. They are the defending champions from way back in 19. They are the Philippine Cup champions. But it might just boil down to, binanggit mo na, Carlo, yung schedule.
Yeah.
They will be, some of them will be representing Gilas for the third window. And then, anong EASL nila? Yung TNT, sabi mo kanina.
Mas late yata yung sa kanila. I think mas late yung sa kanila. Judging by how it goes, I think November 2 at saka...
Akala ko opening night silang dalawa ng TNT. Different venues.
Saka Group A, December 28. Ewan ko kung valid pa tong schedule na to. Tinitingnan ko lang po dun sa website nila. Yeah. Ayun, PBA champion. Anyang KGC yung kalaban nila October 12 din. Sorry.
Yun, di ba?
Na-miss out ko. I think so.
Tama ba?
I think so. Yep.
So, it all boils down to, binanggit na nga natin, these guys, Coach Leo rolls with 7, may import will be rolling with 8. Baka ngayon talagang kailanganin ng to roll with 10 or maybe even 12 guys because of the sheer workload on their part this coming tournament.
Might. Probably not. with how we know Coach Leo, I would not bet on him extending his rotation too much from usual.
If a guy like Pesumal can't get minutes, man, so I don't know.
Right?
A guy like
Such a talented player. Rain or shine ang ating susunod na koponan. If Converge has generated a lot of excitement with the addition of Coach Alden Ayo, oh boy, rain or shine should be fun with Coach Yeng Yao. Our happy times here again for Bobelga, Magu.
It just sounds right, no? Rain or shine and Coach Yeng, they just go together. Yun lang, in one sentence, parang tama lang na Coach Yeng and Rain or shine are back together again. And given na, ang natitira na lang dyan, Belga and Norwood, from his original boys at Rain or Shine, ang bata netong lineup na to. And while you gotta be excited about, or for all of the rookies and sophomores on that squad, I'm most looking forward to Ray ng Batak. How is this guy gonna respond to Coach Yeng? How is Coach Yeng paano mapipiga ni Coach Yeng etong si Stingray? Yun ang inaabangan ko dito, Carlo.
For sure. I mean, Rain or Shine had their championship moments with Coach Yeng. Iba yung nadadalang kumpiyansa ng isang Coach Yeng sa koponan.
And there was a time where Rain or Shine was just always in the semis.
I think 8.
Minimum semis.
8 straight ata. Yep, I think that.
Doesn't win it all the time, pero yung semis, andun ka palagi. That's consistency for you.
Yep, so again, if you're a Rain or Shine fan, you appreciate what Coach Chris Gavina, Coach Caloy Garcia tried to do with his squad. Pero yung isa pang maganda dito sa kanila, yung diskarte ni Coach Chris Gavina with the import he selected, nung nagbago ng head coach, nagbago yung import, di ba? Balasa
Palit niya
agad.
agad eh. It's
Oo.
such a Coach Yang move, di ba?
Oo. At saka yung maganda kasi dyan, hindi sila naghintay kung mananalo sila in their first 2 games bago palitan. Kasi alam nila gaano ka-importante yung magandang umpisa eh. If you lose your first 2 games, then, there's so much pressure on you to win a majority of your games remaining. Kaya sa kanila, it's worth it to have a good start. Magpadala ka na ng bagong import, cut the loss with yung paunang sweldo, tsaka yung biyahe and whatever else you spend for your first import, and get someone that could bring you far into the competitions.
Yun nga, no? Such a Coach Yang thing to do. Steve Taylor,
Yep.
6'9", will be his import right away. You got the veterans, you've got Reynang Batak, and now you've got the younger guys. Guys like Mamuyak, guys like Asistio, lalo pang lalabas Santillan pa. It's gonna be exciting times para dito sa Rain or Shine. And right off the bat, they take on Coach Yang's former team, which is NLEX, and that is gonna be on Friday right away, Carlo.
Look, if you get 3 wins from the stretch mula sa NLEX to Meralco, you can be a playoff team.
Yeah.
Diba? Yun yung target mo. 3 wins from that, and then you could make it into the quarterfinals, I believe.
Mag 3-3 ka nga, no? Mag 3-3 ka dyan. And then may 6 na game ka pa against yung mga, based on the records in the Philippine Cup, yung mga kasabayan nila sa baba. Kayang-kaya.
Yep. There's certainly a possibility for Rain or Shine. And I'm just excited to see Rain or Shine with Coach Yang again. Parang, okay, sige, he did his best with NLEX. They had their good moments. Pero parang parang Ross and Rachel lang eh. It's just, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be.
Magkakabalikan din sa dulo pala eh.
Last team that Coach Yang was just on a break, sabi ni Guaps. last team na pag-uusapan natin, another team that has players na hindi makakapaglaro para sa kanila in the upcoming conference. Of course, we're talking about Jason Perkins, a big focal part of the offense on both ends actually nitong Phoenix, is out with a knee injury. But
aray, anyari? Matagal?
Oo. Yeah, he underwent an operation. So with that and the ending of the contract nitong si Matthew Wright, I believe they're losing about 30 points, about 12 rebounds, about 6 assists per ball game. Yan yung kailangan punuan ng ibang players. Caleb Wesson is their import. But one of the exciting things for me is this opens the door for their younger players to really show us what they're worth. Itong sila JV Mocon, who was traded to this team, sila Enzo Serrano, sila Tyler Teo, 'di ba? Yung
yung Teo solid ah.
Yung
Tyler Teo.
Yung second pick overall ni Magumar John sa mock draft ng 2OT. Siyempre.
Pero si Tyler Teo led the league in 3-point percentage, di ba?
Yep.
Alam mo yung pinaka naging fan ako nito? Yung pagka-fearless card.
Yeah,
ang
sure.
Sure. Tapang ng batang to.
Sure. Yung maganda rin dito is si Lalata magkakaminuto, di ba? Another player who showed us, glimpses of brilliance in the minutes that he was provided. Again, it will be challenging for Phoenix without 2 of their focal points, how to stay competitive. Nakakita tayo ng maraming pagkakataon where they would be in games tapos kukulangin sa dulo, di ba? They would lose by a buzzer beater to Baseramer, yung mga ganong bagay na tapos or matatalo ng Meralco after Phoenix led by as many as 16 points in the 4th quarter. Let's see how this team grows up. Yun yung excited akong makita. And let's see how Caleb Wesson tries to lift this squad nitong si Coach Topex Robinson. Tignan natin yung schedule ng Phoenix Super LPG Fuel Masters, as we know that they will, be underdogs here in this conference. Let's just put it at that. Pero the mentality ni Coach Topex Robinson, he thrives on, proving us wrong, proving everyone wrong, and just coaching the best out of this squad.
And bukas na bukas, Carlo. Fireworks kagad yan because Northport ang makakalaban netong Phoenix. It's a chance for them to send a statement right away na kahit na nga kulang-kulang, wala na nga si Wright, tapos yung Perkins injured pa, chance for everybody on that lineup, especially the import, to really show everybody that they're here to play. And then they take on Blackwater a few days after. That's on Saturday, the 24th, before settling down to round about a week's break. And then Bay Area, NLEX, Hinebra, Meralco. But yung first 2 games na ito, ever so critical para sa Phoenix. Kasi ang hirap maghabol eh. And Phoenix, nabiktima na sila ng ganyan in the past couple of conferences. You want a good start. You want na maka 2-0 ka na kagad right away. Kahit 1-1, pero mas maganda yung 2-0 before you get into the meat of the order, Carlo.
Yep. But this is a good opportunity for them to get a strong start at least, diba? Northport, Blackwater, Bay Area, and Lex. These are against teams na, yun nga, in terms of talent, hindi kasing loaded ng mga San Miguel at TNT at Hinebra.
Hindi kasi loaded ng Hinebra at Meralco at TNT Magnolia San Miguel. Yun yung mga sunod-sunod sa baba.
Yep. So at least for Phoenix, you can get your feet wet with your new import, try to pick up early wins, try to build confidence, and see what happens kung saan tayo tutungo for Phoenix Super LPG. Yan po ang ating 12 koponan. Ako I have to say, diba, kahit gaano karaming YouTube highlights kasi yung panoorin, you will never know how an import will play in the PBA until they actually play one game. So, yun yung mga tututukan natin kung paano maglalaro yung mga bagong pangalan na makikita natin dito sa Commissioner's Cup.
Especially because of everything that is asked from an import.
Sure.
With the minutes, with the workload, si Jordan Clarkson mismo naubusan nung 4th quarter eh. Di ba?
Against Lebanon,
first game niya, diba? Against Lebanon, ganda nung first half niya, pero pagdating 4th quarter, dahil unless your name is LeBron James or Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan, hindi ka sanay na ganun maglaro on such a high level. Kaya yung lalo na yung mga first 2 games, doon natin naabangan yung mga si Brownlee, yung conditioning, nagka-cramps nung kauna-una laro dito. But in time, they'll get it, they'll get used to it. Iba yung ensayo, iba yung real game. And then doon nalalabas talaga yung galing neto mga import na to.
To close this episode of 2OT, very quick hits na walang basihan, sagot lang out of top of mind. Magu, who will be the dark horse for the Commissioner's Cup?
Isip muna ako. Walang isipan no?
Mm-hmm.
Rain or shine?
I agree. I agree. Agree. Who will be the top 3 in terms of the best player of the conference race? Go.
Junmar pa rin.
Mm-hmm.
Scotty.
Mm-hmm.
Gio Lalon.
Mm-hmm. Oh! Sure.
Gio.
CJ Perez.
Uy.
Mikey Williams. Tsaka yung higante ng Bay Area Dragons.
Yung 7-5.
Mabigat yung rebounding. So, hindi natin alam kung pwede bang manalo ng best player of the conference yung
Pwede.
Yung
Pwede
best
sila
team?
mag-champion eh. So, pwede rin mag-BPC, di ba?
Sige. Walang basehan. Top 3 sa best import. Sino? Yung papangalanan mo, Justin Brownlee, tsaka
sa San Miguel,
Thomas, okay, tsaka
TNT.
Cameron Oliver. Hindi si Leon something. So yun po ang mga hula-hula, mga haka-haka na namin ni Magumar John na walang basehan. Muli po, mag-uumpisa na ang Commissioner's Cup bukas. Blackwater Bossing versus the guest team Bay Area Dragons at 3 p.m. Northport Batang Pier versus the Phoenix Super LPG Fuel Masters at 6 p.m. You can buy tickets at the Mall of Asia Arena, and that will be on start.
TV5, PBA Rush, Smart Giga, and the Smart Sports Facebook page para sa second game.
I want TFC. Sabi nga ng asawa ko, remind ko daw
yun pala.
na nasa PBA Rush.
At saka 92.3 FM.
Yep, huwag niyo pong kakalimutan, di ba? If nasa radyo kayo, tas wala kayong data, hindi kayo makapanood sa Signal Play or sa Smart Sports, you can listen to the live coverage of the game.
Saan ka bukas? Rush?
PBA Rush for the second game. Ikaw?
Dito, sa bahay ko, papanoorin ko kayo.
Okay, kita tayo. My mom is watching, Humabol. Good evening, ma.
Good evening po.
Thank you for watching at magandang gabi po. Diyan na rin po kami magpapaalam ni Magumar John. Thank you so much for hanging out with us in this very impromptu, quick look at the lay of the land for the Commissioner's Cup. We should have a fun conference in front of us, especially dahil 2019 pa nga po nung huli tayong magkaroon ng mga naglalakihan, mga higanting import in the Commissioner's Cup. For Magumar John, ako po si Carlo Pamintuan, once again reminding you that 2OT is presented by Smart 5G. We thank them for allowing us to air on the Smart Sports Facebook page And we thank you also for joining us tonight. Mapa-YouTube man or Facebook ng 2OT. Magandang gabi po and we will see you at the games.
Salamat, Smart!